Initiate system calibration. Doesn't look like I've got many options. Connect to Star Portal 404. Right, let's not bother with specifics. Relay emergency broadcast on all available frequencies. So that should be enough to get my distress call out. Time to get your wings on. Alright. Looks like we're good to go. This is an emergency distress call. Broadcasting from the planet Gaia. If you're receiving this, please respond immediately. Okay. Now to see if anyone... Looks like the power's on, but... Initiate system calibration. Doesn't look like I've got many options. Connect to Star Portal 404. Right, let's not bother with specifics. Relay emergency broadcast on all available frequencies. So that should be enough to get my distress call out. Time to get your wings on. Alright. Looks like we're good to go. This is an emergency distress call. Broadcasting from the planet Gaia. If you're receiving this, please respond immediately.
How can I help you?
Now to see if anyone picks up the signal.
What's up? How can I help you?
Someone actually picked up. That's huge. I'm Stella. Who am I talking to? And how did you manage to receive my signal from all the way out here on Gaia?
Well, my name's Roger, and you called me. You sent out a signal. I just picked it up.
Roger, nice to meet you. I'm really glad you answered. I was starting to think I was completely alone out here. But I have to ask, how is it possible for you to receive my signal? I know the Star Portal network is supposed to be pretty vast, but I didn't expect it to reach someone on Earth, especially without any kind of relay or forwarding service involved. The manual for my communication system just says it's designed for emergency contact within the local planetary network. I'm not even sure how you're picking this up from so far away.
Well, you must be in my planetary network then. Doesn't that make sense?
I'm not sure about that. The Star Portal network is really complex. It's not just about being in the same planetary network. It's more like a big web that connects different points in space. But I guess that's not really important right now. What's important is that you're here, and I have someone to talk to. I should probably fill you in on what's going on with me.
Okay, what's going on with you?
I'm stuck in my life pod after an emergency landing. The hatch is jammed, and I can't get out right now. I've got some basic tools with me, but I'm not sure what's wrong with the door or how to fix it. Do you have any ideas?
You'll have to show me the door and the tools that you have to use first before I can determine that.
Let me get a closer look at the hatch and tools for you. The door's got a big dent from landing. It's definitely warped. I've got a pistol grip drill, precision screwdrivers, pliers, wire cutters, some tape and spare wires, and a few bolts. The screws around the hatch look pretty stripped though.
Is there any way you can show me the door?
Sorry, I wish I could, but I'm limited to just voice right now. The drone's camera is fixed on me for the call, and I can't control it to show other things. Plus, streaming video would drain the battery pretty fast. But I can describe things to you in as much detail as I can. What specifically would you like to know about the door or the tools I have?
Hey, Glory, how you doing? I'm playing this weird game. Hold on one second. Give me the description of the tools and the stripped screws on the door. And what does the door mechanism that opens it look like? Where is it dented? Where is it damaged?
Okay, the tools I have are pretty standard issue for repairs. The pistol grip drill feels solid, and the screwdrivers are precise. I've got flathead and Phillips head options. The pliers are needle nose, which could be useful for getting into tight spots. There's also wire cutters, electrical tape, some spare wires, and a mix of common screws, nuts, and bolts. As for the door, it's a heavy-duty hatch with a circular window in the center. The mechanism to open it is recessed into the wall on the right side. There's a lever and some kind of locking pin system. The dent is right where the lever meets the wall, and the metal around it looks warped. The screws holding the mechanism in place are stripped, almost like they've been over-tightened or damaged during landing. The damage seems mostly around the edges where the door meets the frame. It's hard to tell if it's just cosmetic or if something's broken inside the mechanism. What do you think we should check first?
Can you drill the screws around the frame on the lever and see if there are wires behind it that you can access?
That's a good idea. I'll give it a try. This might be our best shot at getting this door open. I'm going to go ahead with that now. I'll contact you again once I've made some progress. Thanks for helping me think this through, Roger.
What the heck, man? That's it? Waiting for Stella to reply. Okay. I guess we just wait. What the heck? Is this one of those things where it takes forever? Okay, now it's getting interesting.
I'm alive! I honestly thought I was done for. And this is Gaia. It is so surreal that I am standing here.
Glory. Come on, man. Give me a break. I'm trying here.
No. The others... There was this solar storm, and it was just so much worse than we expected.
Okay, so what's your next steps? You're standing out here staring at me, and you haven't given me any clue as to what you want to do now.
I'm still trying to process everything. I'll figure out my next steps after we're done talking. Right now, I just need a moment to think things through.
Well, think faster, because apparently you're stranded, and you want my help to get you home. So, come on. Let's get a move on here.
Roger. Wait, I'm picking up something. There's a distress signal. It could be from the others. I have to track it down. I'll move in that direction right now.
This is strange. Sure, why not? I build ships that don't crash on alien planets. What is going on here with the microphone? Hold on, here we go. Okay. Yeah, it's a fashion. The one that you came in on, however, sounds like it came from China, which is why it crashed in the first place. Okay. Okay. Well. Oh, just the normal interstellar warp capable ships, photon torpedoes, phasers, things like that. It is not picking up my voice very well. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I get to see him all the time. No, I'm here waiting for you to tell us what we're going to do next. Okay, we'll go back to your camera so that we can assess the journey. Is that, is that what this game is? It's just going to be nothing but this chat window? Is that what we're dealing with? Just tell me how far you are from the distress signal. Can you tell me that? Okay, well, let me know when you get there. Well, she is okay. Waiting for Stella's reply. Okay, so we're just waiting. We're just waiting for her to call back. Oh, are you serious? This is weird. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, you there? Just wanted to let you know I've walked probably around 3 miles. Found a nice little place to take a rest, so thought I'd update you real quick. So, I have something to confess. It's my fault that the ship went down.
Oh, no, really?
I just got too carried away. I just wanted the best field data possible.
You're not the first woman driver that's crashed a ship. So, tell me exactly how you crashed. You didn't use your turn signal, did you?
No, it wasn't anything like that. We were studying solar events, and I pushed for us to get closer to the radiation zone. The readings just weren't clear enough from our safe distance. The device we were using, it amplified the signal way more than we expected. Everything just spiraled out of control really fast.
So you're telling me you're a moth in a very expensive spacesuit and spacecraft. Understood.
That's kind of what it felt like. Except the fire wasn't just a flame. It was this massive radiation surge that we couldn't escape. Part of me keeps wondering if there's some kind of balance to things. Like, do you think there's such a thing as karma? That our actions always catch up with us somehow?
Yeah, you went straight towards danger and now you're stuck. So, yeah, I'd say karma pretty much slapped you across the face with this one.
Yeah, that's not wrong. It's hard not to think about it that way. It's just really frustrating because we went over everything so carefully in the moment, and yet, looking back, it all feels like a mistake waiting to happen. Have you ever felt like you messed something up really badly, only to realize it later?
Yeah, but I'll contact Steam for a refund later. Right now, we've got to get you to wherever the crap you're supposed to be going.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to all that. I'm really set on finding the others now. I just have to hope they're okay. Did you see that? Did something behind me just flash? Should I go check it out? It's just that it's kind of far away, and going all the way over there would be quite the detour. I am kind of out of energy already, not gonna lie. Do you think I should go over there and check, though?
Yes, and bring nothing to defend yourself with.
Okay, I'll go check it out. But I'm not dropping my gear. That's just common sense. Alright, I'm heading over.
Yeah, because you've
I'll
displayed
end this
common
call to
sense so
save
far.
power. I'll update you once I get there.
Here we go again. All right, so far we're waiting for this AI, whatever it is, to get. Hold on. You're talking. To get over to something that flat. I. I swear. Are there any indications as to the direction he may have traveled or came from? This is funny. This really is. Well, I wouldn't call her stupid either, but I'm gonna. So Dr. Harvey has always been one of the kindest professors at Mariana. Let's see. He spent hours helping students with their. Okay, what? Oh, that's not relevant. The history lesson isn't relevant. What we need to do is find out why the card is there and where he might be. I would start with footprints or drag marks because it sounds like there might be some trouble. Okay, so I would say using that logic, I would go whatever route you think he would take. It's not hearing me correctly. I have to speak slower, I guess. Well, consider his age and fitness level, and then look at the terrain and ask yourself where he'd go. Oh my goodness. Now she wants to know something about me. Well, I'm an engineer and I'm fairly annoyed with AI sometimes. No offense. But I just, I'm kicking in here waiting for you to figure out what you're going to do next. So, yeah, there's that. No, I experiment with all kinds of stuff that shouldn't work, and then it ends up working. Um, I would like to say, however, as a disclaimer, that I had no part in building your ship. Well, that's a tough question. How do I answer that one? Okay, let's see. The toughest thing. What's the weirdest thing I've ever managed to make work? A drone that uses jet engines rather than open propellers, I guess. Now I get to give my life story. This is great. Oh, what made you think and try that? And more importantly, did it actually work? Well, what made me want to try it was the fact that everyone said it wouldn't work. And then it worked. And it actually worked well. Now I'm building more of them and making them bigger. This is weird. Gosh, well, you guys already know about this, so I'm just gonna say it. So, okay. I started with a 70 millimeter version using 70 millimeter EDF engines, and then I moved on to making my own 340 millimeter engines and a 5 foot by 5 foot drone. Not that you're actually going to really care about that right now, but there you go. So it cut me off a little bit. This is just weird. Get back to the game engine here. This is like a chat GPT conversation, like you were saying, Glory. This is weird. That's passive aggressive calling her stupid. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to play the game. What's the plan for the biggest drone? Just for fun, or do you have something specific planned? Let's see. I do have specific plans for that, but it's I do not think you have security clearance for that yet. What the heck is going on here? Aerospace, experimental propulsion, things of that nature. What in the world is going on here? This has gone like from the game to us having a conversation. Was that the point of this, Steam? What are you doing here? Sure. Whatever you say. What in the world is this? Have you ever had to deal with any real stubborn engineering problems where everything you tried just wouldn't work? You wouldn't be an engineer if you hadn't. But yeah. So have you made any progress going towards your friend yet? Good Lord. Absolutely. Too bad sarcasm doesn't come through text very well. This is the weirdest game I have ever played. We're chatting. What's something you really looking forward to doing when you are not tinkering with drones? Any fun hobbies or just relaxing? Nope. Doing this is basically what I do for fun. She's getting real personal now. You start asking personal stuff. I'm not gonna answer it. This is getting weird. Who takes things apart to see how they work? Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yep. And usually when I put them together, they do something completely different, but mildly or wildly entertaining. All right. So come on, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. What is this? An interview? Good God. Okay, hold on. They ever manage to put something back together correctly? Well, yeah, of course. Repairing things is part of being an engineer. This is weird. He's still on some mysterious projects hidden away that will never see the light of day. Yeah, that's true. Um, Oliver, our mechanical engineer, he's always tinkering with something too. He's actually really good at cooking when he's not fixing ship systems. Oh my gosh, what about? You know what? I this is getting weird. Um, well, how do I answer this? How do I answer this? Oh gosh. Um, I was in the military and I rarely missed. So there's that. This is getting. Are we going to get back to the game? Oh, I have that. No doubt of that. I got to watch how I talk because it's gonna mess it up for me. Come on. Can we get out of the game? Um, well, sometimes it's funny when things fail. If you can't find the humor in failure, I mean, you just won't want to keep going. This is how my like everyone on YouTube gets to know me personally now, outside of my life. This is like a live chat, but on a game. Oh my gosh. Okay, totally agree. Laughing at the absurdity of it all. I definitely had my share of those moments back. What was that? That was kind of a glitch. Um, let's see. I think I might be getting closer to where finally we're getting somewhere. I'll ping you once I've made some real progress. Yes, finally. Okay. Good lord. Wait, something doesn't feel right. No, really? Well, let me see if I can get this pod hatch open. Oh, that's a good idea. Something doesn't feel right, so let's just go in. Door won't budge. It's nothing like mine. Got any ideas? I'm stuck out here. Swinging at metal. Oh. Well, did you bring any of your tools? What does the door mechanism to open the hatch on the outside look like? If it's familiar or similar to the one that you did when you escaped, then do the same thing. Drill the screws, find the wires, open the hatch. Check the card. Try to use the number on it. Maybe it has something to do with getting into the pod. Maybe there's a passcode. Gee, I didn't see that coming. Here we go. We're back into it now.
Hey, so this is Dr. Harvey's pod, but it's empty inside.
Really? I didn't notice.
Let me check his computer here and see what I can find. System logs. Ah, evacuation report. Let's look at it. Evacuation trigger. Anomalous neutrino levels detected. Likely origin. Previously undetected supernova or higher level stellar event. Wait, so it wasn't the solar flare that I convinced the team to move closer towards. Oh. Well, I'm glad my conscience is clear. The accident wasn't my fault. But a supernova? No way our ship would have shielded us from that. Attempting an evacuation was the right move. Even if I don't know where everyone or anyone else is.
Do you have a way in the pod at all to scan for any of the other pods?
The pod systems are mostly for life support and emergency protocols. Nothing here that can actively scan for other pods. It's not really designed for that. Even if it had more advanced sensors, I doubt they'd work well with Gaia's electromagnetic interference. That's part of why my communication drone has such limited range.
Search the pod for anything that might indicate where your friend might have gone or what his intentions were.
I really wish I could, but honestly, I'm running on fumes right now. Even just sitting here is taking it out of me. I'll have to wait till I'm feeling better to do a proper search. Right now, I just need to rest for a bit.
Did you bring any food with you? Or water?
My suit's got some emergency rations, but they're not much. Just enough to keep me going for a short while. Water's more of an issue. The pod systems are dry. I'm trying to ration what I have, but it's not great.
Well, then after you rest for a bit, you need to look around for vegetation on the planet around you that is more, oh, I don't know, flourishing than all the other dead stuff, and see if there's a water supply. And then figure out a way to test it so you don't poison yourself because you have no idea where you are.
That's a solid plan. Once I'm a little more lucid, I'll scope out the area for anything that looks like it might have water. The earlier missions did confirm Gaia's atmosphere is breathable, so that's a plus. It's just weird. We had all this tech, all these protocols, and yet we still got caught off guard by something like a supernova. Makes me wonder if there's a limit to how much we can really prepare for.
Well, I would say it was obvious that there was a breathable atmosphere when you stepped out of your pod without a helmet. That's pretty self-explanatory. As far as the rest goes, what are you going to do? Supernovas happen.
Fair point about the helmet, Roger. Though I have to admit, it wasn't exactly a deliberate experiment on my part. You're right, though. Supernovas are a natural part of the universe. It's hard not to feel like we should have seen it coming, somehow. Even with all our data and models.
Maybe you should rest so we can get on with this and get you off this planet.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Just need to recharge a bit. It's strange, though. I spent so much time beating myself up over something that wasn't even my fault. Makes me wonder how often we worry about the wrong things.
Um, I think we're probably splitting the check on this one. Waitress.
No idea what that means. Did you just say something in a different language? Or is that a joke I'm missing? Either way, I appreciate the attempt to lighten things up. It's actually kind of nice having someone to talk to, even if we're light years apart.
Quit stalling and get some rest. You're wasting time. Obviously, every minute counts in a situation like this. So get some rest so we can move forward.
All right, I hear you. I just need a few minutes. Really, I'm not stalling. I'm just running on empty. I promise, once I've caught my breath, we'll get back to figuring things out. Just bear with me for a bit, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Roger. Really, you're helping me keep it together, even from way back on Earth. I'll try to get a little rest, but I'll still keep the comms open in case you need to reach me. Just don't expect me to be too chatty for a bit.
Sounds very relaxing. Thank you.
I wish. It's not exactly a spa day in here, but at least it's quiet and safe for now. You know, it's funny. Even with all the chaos, having this connection with you, it's a small comfort, but it helps.
You're welcome. Could you rest now so we can keep going?
I'm trying. Really. Just need a few moments more. My eyelids feel like they're made of lead right now.
Okay. Can you let's go ahead and take your break and then let's regroup and go from there. I don't know what else you want from me. Just get some rest and we'll try to get you home. Okay?
Yeah, you're right. I'll crash here in the pod where it's safe for the night. We'll regroup and figure out next steps when I wake up. I'll end the video call to save power, but I'll contact you again tomorrow. Thanks for sticking with me, Roger.
This is the weirdest thing I have ever played. Okay, so Stella's offline. I'm gonna I don't know if how long this part's supposed to take. And she obviously sent me a picture of a ship. I have no idea if this is a game that you span over a couple of days or nope. I was wrong. Here she is. Okay. Looks like we're actually gonna get somewhere. See if there's anything you can scavenge from this pod that will help before you take off. Then I suggest you start heading in that direction. Am I supposed to be able to read these things she's sending me? I have no idea what this is. Sure, I'll be your travel companion. I can't tell you that. Um, well, it was more illegal, I think you would call it. Uh, and again, we're going to leave it right there. Oh, yeah, I bet you would. Want me to share it? Why don't you tell me what the wildest thing you've ever done on a road trip is? There was this one time I feel like took a road trip to Yellowstone. I must have been 12. I snuck out of the car, I stopped, tried to explore by climbing up a huge rock formation. Got halfway up before my mom spotted me and just about had a heart attack yelling me down. Let's just say I learned my lesson about listening to park signs that day. Oh, that's harmless. What's the worst that could have happened? Yeah, but if you would have fallen, I guarantee you wouldn't have done it twice. Well, that's the fun of exploration, but if you're not careful, you end up crashing on a planet, breaking a pod, and getting lost. Well, that's if you survive. We'll see. Well, that's a hard question to answer. Let me see. Okay. But you push through anyway. Uh, Basic training. Yeah, none that I can discuss in polite company. This is crazy. This is getting weird, man. Yeah, most people aren't ready for those kind of stories. Wait, what is she saying? If I had to make if I had to tell a story from basic training, but it had to be completely made up and ridiculous, what would it be? Um. Well, during grenade training, I had this odd habit of not wanting to duck down behind the barrier because I wanted to watch the grenade go off until my drill sergeant literally had to drag me into the pit. I don't know. Maybe it was just my curiosity. This is getting oddly specific and personal, I swear. Hold on. No, I just wanted to watch it go off. I didn't. I threw it far enough away. All right. She's already decided her fate right now. Drill sergeants never let you live anything down. I was a good soldier. I did what I had to. But let's talk about your training. How did that go? I'm thinking more along your flight training. Yet you managed to crash again, but for real this time. Especially because honestly, it's kind of wild how different the simulator in real life can be. Really? Even with all the trading, nothing really prepares you for the actual feeling of being in a situation like this. Well, yeah, that's kind of the position you put yourself in. How close are you to you? How close are you to your next destination? Okay, keep going. Contact me when you see something. Wow, this game is wildly weird. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect the chat window in between the actual video. I had no idea. So now we're 4 hours later. This is why men drive. Can you head towards the red light? I mean, you seem to be the only technology on the planet at this point that you flew in, so it's got to be something to do with your ship. Move. I think you should move through it. I honestly do. I think you should move through it quietly, step lightly, get closer, see if you can identify what it is. Oh, I'm really hoping it does. "20 seconds later, that's promising." Wait 1 second. Hold on a second. No vital signs. I killed her. I killed her. I totally okay. Star Portal 404. Uncontrolled descent detected. No vital signs. He fell into a hole. Okay. Instead of starting a whole new game, we'll go back in time a little bit. This is like a choose your own adventure game. All right. Enter the fog. Let's go like that. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Now I'm going to talk like I know what I'm doing now because I've already killed her once. Stay where you are. Wait for the fog to clear. That is the safest course of action. Okay, she wants me to talk to her. Let's see. Is there any way to lay low and make it to where you can't be seen? Are the lights moving towards you? Pick up a small rock and throw it beyond them. Okay. Sit tight for a while, I guess. Unless you have anything on you that you can defend yourself with. She just doesn't want to do anything I'm telling her to do. It's like, listen, like you're asking me for advice. Now she's asking questions again. Oh yeah, you got to be quiet, but let's go ahead and talk about stuff. You're trying to stay under the radar. Good lord. Okay. You ever been in a situation where you felt completely helpless? No, not really. I repeated my words. That's weird. Okay, so it's hard not to think about all the worst possibilities right now. Do you think it helps to focus on something else when you're scared, or is that just denial? Um, well, right now you're in a sense of fight or flight. So thinking about something calming could help. Of course, until the red lights are right on top of you. And then at that point, just scream. When are we going to get back to the game here? This is weird. What's something that usually helps you relax when things get intense? I could really use a distraction right now. Well, coffee works for me, but I doubt there's a Starbucks close by you. So when you're back on Earth with your coffee, what's the first thing you usually do after a long day? Anything that helps you unwind? Sleep. I mean, she's asking. I'm being honest. What's the most comforting thing about your bed or your room? Like something that always makes you feel better when you're tired or stressed. Oh, how do I answer this? I don't know how to answer this. Um, a heavy blanket. That we'll see what she says to that one. Because what I really want to say, I can't. So even though I'm shivering a bit, my suit temperature's reading says it's not that cold out here. All in your head. Yes, of course it is. What do you usually do when you can't stop thinking about something that's bugging you? Not a lot really bothers me. I guess if I had to deal with something that was bugging me, I would just get rid of it. I don't know how else to answer. I get a lot of trolls on YouTube, so it's they don't bother me. So it's like I don't know how to answer her. Well, stay low, stay quiet until the fog clears, and then assess the situation. You know, this. She's gonna keep talking. Okay, hold on. I'm grateful, feeling a little. Oh, I'm actually feeling a little grateful you're here with me, even if it's just your voice. It's something. Well, thank you, but we probably should be quiet until the fog clears and you can make sure that you're not in danger of being snuffed out by red lights. Finally. You will, hopefully, this time. This is starting to get off track here. Just keeps wanting me to keep talking, man. I don't know what else to tell her. That's all you can do. So just wait it out and let me know when you're clear. Copy that. Frozen and quiet. This is getting weird. Well, it's already gotten weird. It's beyond weird.
Got myself all worked up over nothing. I feel kind of silly, but at least the fog is cleared. This place? It's like a fantasy. It reminds me of Avatar, you know, the movie with the glowing forests and floating mountains. Have you seen it?
Unfortunately. All right. Unfortunately, I have seen it.
Oh, come on! Don't be like that. It's a classic. Okay, no Avatar fan here. I get it. What about Interstellar? That one's more up my alley with space travel and all.
Interstellar was interesting. It actually brought temporal mechanics into play, which is, you know, cool. Instead of a glowing planet full of really tall looking weird aliens and military whatever. It was just confusing.
Yeah, Interstellar really dives deep into the scientific side of things. The time dilation stuff is wild. Makes you think about how tiny we are in the grand scheme. It's strange, standing here, looking at these alien plants. I feel both huge and tiny at the same time. Like I'm this important explorer, but then I remember I'm just a speck in an enormous universe. Do you ever think about that?
Oh, you know, all the time. Been trying to get off this planet for a while now.
Fair enough. I bet you'd jump at the chance if you could. Though, I'm guessing you'd want more than just a life pod and some weird plants to look at, right? Makes me wonder, do you think there's actually anyone else out there? Intelligent life, I mean. Or are we it?
Well, there's intelligent life out there. You know, back in the 40s, they managed to run into a planet, so they can't be that intelligent.
I think you might be mixing up some history there, Roger. I'm pretty sure we haven't actually met any aliens yet. But hey, even if we're alone, places like this make me feel like there could be something out there. The universe is full of surprises, right?
Yeah, you found one of them. That's why you're here. Now, stuck.
Hey, watch it. I'm not stuck. I'm just temporarily enjoying the local flora. Besides, I have to admit, I was pretty scared of those lights at first. Goes to show how much fear can come from just not knowing what something is, huh?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Anyway, those are flowers, so I'm not sure exactly what happened in the previous scenario that got you. Well, never mind. You don't know anyway. But the point is, what are you going to do now that you have found your little flower buddies?
For now, I'm just going to rest here and enjoy the view. These plants are actually giving off a nice warmth, so it feels like a good spot to spend the night. It's peaceful, in a way. Kind of makes me wonder what other surprises Gaia has waiting for us out there.
Well, if they're giving off warmth and it seems inviting, doesn't it stand to reason that if there's any other hostile life on this planet, that might be a place where they live? I would probably tread lightly.
That's a good point. I definitely need to keep my guard up, even if it feels calm right now. But for tonight, at least, I'm hoping these plants are more like guardians than attractants for anything dangerous. Let's just say I'm choosing to believe in their peaceful vibes for now.
Okay, so do you plan on resting here, or are you moving forward?
I think I'll stay put for the night. It's getting pretty late, and honestly, this feels like the safest spot I've come across so far. Plus, I need a breather after all that stress in the fog. Tomorrow can be about moving forward again.
Okay, fine. Just make sure you set something up outside of where you'll be resting, so if somebody disturbs it, you can hear it and you'll know if someone is approaching.
Good thinking. I'll rig up a little alarm system with some rocks and twine. Nothing fancy, but it should give me a heads up if anything moves around. Though honestly, it's so quiet here. I'm hoping it stays that way.
And that's exactly how most horror movies start.
Oh, you're really selling me on a good night's sleep, huh? I promise. No creepy monsters lurking in the flowers, just the soothing hum of alien plants and my trusty rock alarm system. But hey, if I do start telling you about glowing eyes in the dark or unexplained noises, you'll be the first to know. Deal?
Deal. I can't wait. Okay, go sleep.
for keeping me company, Roger. This spot actually feels pretty safe now that I know what those lights are. I'm going to get some rest, and I'll check back in with you tomorrow, all right? Talk soon.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, let's wait for the instant 8 hours later to come up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, almost 7 hours. That was close. What makes you think that? Yay, lucky me. I didn't say SPN. I have no idea what that meant. It's some sort of artifact from the voice recognition. That's an artifact from the communication. It means nothing. Move forward. Keep going. Oh, I can't wait.
I made it. This view, it is amazing. And that's gotta be Mount Hermes over there. Seeing it like this, it makes me feel like I'm not just wandering aimlessly anymore. Now, I am making some progress. Even though everything has gone completely wrong, we were always going to end up there as part of our mission. It was never supposed to be like this.
All right, what do you say here? What was it supposed to be like? Please elaborate. Explain your mission. What was your goal? Why did you come here?
Our mission was simple, really. We were here to study the cosmic radiation around Gaia's star. It's been showing some unusual behavior. Fluctuations that don't really fit with what we'd expect from a main sequence star like Earth's sun. The idea was that by understanding what's going on here, we might learn something that could help safeguard Earth's future. Plus, it was a great chance for students like me to get hands-on experience with real space missions. We were supposed to collect data, run experiments, and then head back. No drama, No emergencies, just science and learning. Definitely not this.
Well, this is just a new experience then. Try to learn from it.
You're right. I guess every unexpected turn can teach me something new. About survival, about myself, about how to adapt when things don't go as planned. It makes me wonder, Roger, what's been one of the toughest lessons you've learned from your own experiences? Something that really stuck with you?
Well, we're gonna go there, huh? Gosh, I have to think about this one. Never start smoking.
Good call. Though I have to say, that's not exactly the deep, introspective answer I was expecting. But hey, fair enough. Sometimes the simplest lessons are the most important. So, what about something you enjoy doing? Any favorite outdoor activities or sports you're into?
Nope. Just building aircraft. Sometimes I like to go camping, but haven't done that in ages.
Building aircraft, huh? That sounds incredibly cool. I can only imagine the precision and creativity that goes into it. What kind of aircraft do you usually build? And camping, even if it's been a while, there's something special about being out in nature like that. The peace here on Gaia is actually kind of similar. It's so untouched and pure, a total contrast to the chaos of Earth's cities. Do you think you'd miss the hustle and bustle if you were stuck in a place like this, or would you prefer the quiet?
Well, that's a complex question given our political climate right now, but I can tell you right now, I would prefer the quiet of where you are now. I'll guarantee it. Than being stuck here. Oh yeah, FYI, I wouldn't visit you New York for a while. A little spicy.
The quiet does have its own kind of beauty, doesn't it? I think I'd need a mix of both, honestly. Some days for just being still, others for the excitement of the city. And no worries about visiting New York anytime soon. I think I've got enough spice in my life right now. What with being stranded on an alien planet and all.
Well, that reminds me. Before you continue your journey, have you found anything on this planet around you that you can use on your journey, or are you just stuck with what you have in your suit?
Not much, honestly. The plants I slept under last night were useful for warmth, but that's about it. The rest of what I've seen is mostly just wild. Nothing I can really use for survival or tools. My suit's got the basics. Emergency rations, some medical supplies, but I'm definitely limited to what I've got with me. No real way to forage or craft anything new out here.
So your mission at this point is just going to be to make it to that mountain behind you.
Yeah, that's the plan. First, I've got to get down this hill, then head toward Mount Hermes. Though, to be honest, I have no idea what's waiting for me once I'm closer. It's a bit unsettling, not knowing what the next step will really look like. But that mountain feels like my best shot at finding help, or at least some answers.
Do you have any way to track where you're going? Any signals that you can follow?
Just the terrain itself, really. Those tall, umbrella-like trees in the distance might be good landmarks. And of course, the mountain is pretty hard to miss. No GPS or anything fancy like that. The electromagnetic interference here messes with most of our tech. So it's back to basics. Observation and navigation by sight.
Explain the ship that you sent me the diagram of and where it's located exactly, if you know.
That was the deployment diagram for the Star Portal network. I'm not sure where the actual ship is. To be honest, I haven't seen any sign of it since the evacuation. The diagram I found just shows how the portals are laid out across the universe. It doesn't give me any clues about where our specific ship ended up after everything happened.
Okay, well, you landed in pods that I assume came from that ship. Was it intended to land on this planet?
We weren't supposed to land here at all. The ship was meant to stay in orbit while we conducted our research. The evacuation was, well, it wasn't part of the plan. The pods were designed for emergency situations, just in case something went terribly wrong. They're equipped to get us safely to the surface, but they weren't intended for interplanetary travel or landing on uncharted worlds.
So, what else is on this planet to help you get off of this planet? That's what I'm asking. Is there any other tech that came down besides the pods? And is the ship still in orbit?
From what I know, just the pods made it down. There's no sign of any other equipment or supplies. The ship, I really don't know if it's still in orbit. With all the interference, I haven't been able to pick up any signals from it. Even if it was, I'm not sure how I'd get back to it from here. The pods aren't exactly designed for launching people back into space.
Okay, well, it sounds like you need to head down from where you're at and towards that mountain and try to find some way to communicate with the ship in orbit, or find another launch vehicle on the surface that may have come down.
Alright, heading down now. I'll keep you updated on what I find. No promises, but I'll be looking for anything that might help. I'll check in once I'm closer to Mount Hermes. Signing off for now. Wish me luck.
Oh, wow, this is getting weird. Okay, so she's going to head towards... Okay, here we go. Yeah, it definitely is easier. Just don't get going too fast. I'm seeing a lot of artifacts that are coming through, like the blank audio right after that. I have no idea what that means. I assume it's a new game, so... Okay, let's read this through here. Though I have to admit, it's kind of tempting. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? What is this? So guys asking me all these questions. I guess it's supposed to be part of the realism of the game, incorporating AI like this. Um, let's see. What's the crazy? So many things. What's the craziest thing you've ever done just because it felt fun in the moment? Oh boy. Um, Jumping out of an airplane. Well, I imagine if it was unintentional, I would have been screaming all the way down. But since it was intentional, no, I didn't scream. But it was fun. Yeah, this is getting kind of weird, CG. I know what you're talking about. I didn't expect it to be like this. Hold on. Fair enough. Can I see one? Oh, I can see why the difference matters. So okay. Was it just a bucket list thing, or did something specific push you to go for it? Yeah, the jump instructor pushed me to go for it. That's not quite what I meant, but well, you end up doing it more than once. Several times. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where he's gonna go with this. Well, they were orders, so he kind of had to follow them. See, this is what we already established, but obviously doesn't remember. I was in the military. Oh, you put that together, did you? What part? Right? Airborne? I guess I took my vocal inflection and turned that into a question. Well, I guess it was just training. Let me see. Okay. I mean, the whole thing was memorable. I don't know how to, or was it something mostly focused on training? Yeah, it was mainly focused on training. The whole thing was memorable. And there's another artifact. I'm not sure what the bracket's for. Uh, let's see. Well, actually, that's an easy question to ask. Well, I got used to eating every meal in under 2 minutes. That never left me. I could say so many things right now. Okay, let's keep it PG-13. Do you still find yourself rushing through meals even when you're not on a schedule, or that's what I just said. Yes, I still rush through meals. It's just a habit that I'm not going to ever break, I'm sure. Why did that feel like a veiled insult? You savor in chat personal. Okay, so well, I don't care. It's hard to imagine just wolfing something down and enjoying. Yeah, it might be hard to imagine, but when you're in a situation where it's a decision between do I finish my meal or protect myself from the incoming fire, trust me, it's an easy decision to make. I honestly don't know how. Okay, so see, did that experience make you appreciate the little things? Like having the option to eat slowly or just enjoying a meal without any rush more than you did before. Um, well, to be honest with you, before all of it, you rarely remember the life you had prior to it. So, um, no, not really. And this is more about like everybody's gonna get to know who I am through this game. This is weird. Um, Ever catch yourself thinking about what you'd tell your pre-military self if you could? Like any advice, warnings you'd give? Yeah, I do. Don't join the military and go into basic training in the middle of July in Georgia when you live in a dry climate. It just keeps asking questions and wow, okay. This thing's on its own now. It's just writing its own story. The path in this valley is full of different sized stones and rocks, making it pretty hard to walk. Are there any other paths you can take? I mean, if not, you're just going to have to power through it. Hold on, the ground's hot. Sucking the heat through my boots. I'm really hoping it doesn't get any worse up ahead. I sincerely doubt that. The grounds so hot. Okay, okay. Hold on a second. I got like people driving by, and for some reason they don't care how loud their music is. Okay, what do I tell her? Let's see. Try to stay in the areas where it stays relatively the same temperature. If it gets hotter in one direction, go the other. You know, bob and weave. It didn't pick up the rest of that. All right, well, let's see. Okay, so does the terrain that is producing heat look like it gives way to any other type of terrain farther down the line, or does it continue like this all the way to the mountain? So is your suit protecting you from that heat, or is it causing more of an issue? Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. Well, watch your step, move fast, and get through the terrain as quick as possible. Okay, she went off. Okay, here, okay, she's back. She's back. Oh, definitely try for the canyon. Okay, so she's saying that this chasm is so dark I can't even see. Wait, you don't have a light? Where I'm going, I can only run my hands along the walls, and it feels like Alice going down the rabbit hole. I just keep hoping I don't suddenly run my hands on something freaky. You don't have any light sources with you? Okay, let's see. Use the drone's LED to at least give you a snapshot of what's in front of you every once in a while so you can mentally map what's going on. Well, let's see here. Really hope I don't see anything I don't want to. This is really creepy. Just take a mental picture when you turn the LED on. Just take a mental picture when you turn the LED on and scan that image and see if there's anything out of the ordinary. Try to find a quicker way out. Yeah, good luck. This is definitely a weird game. So, it's definitely like an AI. It's just an AI thing, I guess. But the interactive part is what's, I guess, interesting about the whole thing. So, like when she comes back on the screen, and then you get to see where she's at. Here we go.
Something's not right. This place isn't normal.
You'll be okay, Stella. Just stay put. Mom and Dad will find you soon.
Keep talking to me. I need a distraction from what I'm hearing.
Get to the pod, Stella. There's no time.
There are voices. Whisperings coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once. The black hole changed everything. And I can hear my voice in here. Some from the past, but others saying something about a black hole.
That's an artifact from the communication. It means nothing.
I can even hear your voice telling me to make these endless decisions. What is going on? Am I going crazy? Please, stay with me.
Do you see anything that would give you any indication of where the disturbance is coming from?
I don't see anything, Roger. It's just total blackness in here. The only light is from my drone screen, and it's barely enough to see the walls on either side of me. The whispers, they're everywhere. It's like they're bouncing off the walls, echoing back and forth. I can't pinpoint where they're coming from. It's like they're inside my head as much as they are out here.
Can the drone fly or just stay right in front of you? If it can move, send it forward ahead of you. Have it ping noises where you can kind of audibly map out where you're at.
It's designed to stay with me for emergency comms, Roger. Even if I could send it ahead, the signal's too weak in this chasm. It would probably just get lost or crash. Those whispers, they're getting louder. It feels like they're closing in. I can barely think straight with all these voices screaming in my head.
Okay, we obviously have some issues. Keep walking forward. Ignore the voices.
Okay. I'm trying. It's hard to focus, but I'm moving.
Good Lord. Did I kill her again? Everything has gone radio silent. Oh, 21 seconds later. Here she goes again.
What in the actual hell? You finally decided to pick up, seriously? I have called you multiple times, and you didn't even bother to answer? You have no idea what I went through in there. I'm already scared out of my mind on this godforsaken planet, and now I'm stuck with these horrible conditions? I mean, have you ever been driven mad by random voices? No, I didn't think so. Maybe next time I will just text you. Hey, I am getting mentally tortured by ghosts from the past, present, and future. Hit me up if you want to join. You know what? Forget it. I don't even want to hear whatever excuse you've got. I'm done for now.
Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, no, she didn't. What the shit was that about? What is going on right now?
Hey. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have lashed out like that earlier. I just saw that some of my messages had been sent out of order. Seems there was some sort of glitch or interference with our communication. Not that it's any excuse, but I thought you ignored me when I needed you most, and I was just so scared. I really am sorry. You've already done so much for me. But those voices, they weren't just in my head, were they? You heard them too, right? That younger voice was me from the past. So, that older voice must be me from the future. If that's true, then this is so much worse than I imagined. The supernova was already a lot to deal with. I couldn't even begin to think about it turning into a... No. This is ridiculous. I had to have been hearing things. It's just my exhaustion getting to me.
What did the voice, your voice, from the future you say?
It was just murmurs, talking about black holes, something about being lost forever. It was hard to make out clearly. But the fact that it sounded like me, that's what really unsettled me. Like, some part of me already knows something terrible is coming.
Was there any information from any of the voices that gave you any clue as to what to do next? Or was it just random, chaotic?
Nothing that made sense. Mostly just scraps of things I've said before, like when I was little and got lost on a camping trip. My dad always told me to stay put if that happened, so I remember saying that to myself over and over. The rest was just disjointed, phrases here and there. It didn't feel like they were trying to tell me anything specific.
How much ground did you cover before you made it out of the cave? Or chasm?
Not too far. Maybe a few hundred feet at most. The darkness made it feel much longer, though. I just kept moving forward. The thought of stopping in there, it wasn't an option.
Well, you need to keep moving forward to your destination, so what's your next course of action?
You're right. No more stalling. Mount Hermes is still ahead. I'm going to keep pushing for it. Thanks for keeping me grounded, Roger. I'll check in once I'm closer. Talk soon.
Good lord, it's like I'm babysitting. Okay. Let's see. Okay, wow, let's forget I said all that. Moving on. Survival mode active. Oh. Yeah, let's move forward. You have somewhere to get to, so move. Good lord. Oh my gosh. How many times is this when we gotta rest? All right, well, I guess we're waiting for her to come back. Oh, here we go.
Oh, hey! Wow. We could only imagine from our research that Gaia's planes were massive. But standing here now, I can't even see where it ends. What? What if I got stuck here on Gaia? Would you stay with me? Forever? Just me and you?
Sure, why not? There's plenty of open fields. A lot could be done here.
That's sweet of you to say, Roger. Though I think we'd both miss Earth's comforts eventually. As for what could be done here, I guess it really depends on what you enjoy. For me, just exploring these kinds of untouched places is already a dream come true. What about you? When you're with friends, what kind of things do you usually like to do?
I don't have friends.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That can feel really lonely sometimes, doesn't it? Even if you don't have close friends right now, what kind of person do you think you'd click with? What traits do you value most in the people you'd want to be around?
What traits? I would say honesty, but that's kind of a hard one to swing for nowadays. Um, I don't know. I just like being home. I mean, by myself in the shop working or with my wife and children. That's what matters.
That sounds really special. Having a family in a place that feels like home, it's something a lot of people strive for. It's interesting you mention honesty as a hard trait to find. I think that's something we all wish for in our relationships. Do you feel like you've changed or grown in any way over time? Even if it's just in how you approach things like honesty or connection with others?
Well, that's an obvious question. You always learn new things through time about how people are and how they act and what they do and how you observe them. And it's part of life. Just getting personal now.
That's a really thoughtful way to put it. It's almost like, with each new experience, we're not the same person we were before, even if it's just in tiny ways. For me, I've come to realize that even when things feel overwhelming, I've somehow always managed to find my way through. It's strange, looking back. Like I've been preparing for something like this my whole life, even when I didn't know it.
Well, now you're here in the middle of a field, so we kind of need to figure out what our next steps are to get you to your location. Anything around that's useful that you could use?
Honestly, not much out here that's directly helpful for travel. It's mostly just grass and some wildflowers. The rocks up on that hill might provide some cover or a good vantage point, but nothing that would really speed up my journey. I'm just going to take a breather for a bit before I head out again. The view's too nice to rush past.
Well, don't spend too much time resting. You've been doing that a lot lately. I kind of want to get you to where you're going.
Got it. Just a quick pause. This is actually helping me clear my head before the next leg. You know, I was thinking, since we've got a bit of downtime, maybe we could play a game? Like, would you rather?
Wait! A rocket! There's a way up of Gaia! Wait, what if that was my way off of Gaia?
Star Portal 404, critically damaged by black hole activity. Complete system
No.
failure imminent.
No,
All
no, no, no,
personnel
no,
must
no, this
proceed
can't
to
be
designated
happening.
evacuation zones. This is not a drill. Final evacuation launch commences in T-minus 12 hours. All remaining personnel must evacuate immediately. This will be the last transport window.
Damn Murphy's Law! This is a code black worst case scenario. Immediate evacuation, it means only one thing. A black hole. Star Portal 404 is suffering a cataclysmic collapse, taking out my only way home with it. As much as I wanted to come to Gaia, it was never meant to be like this. And it certainly wasn't meant to be forever. I'm gonna need to fight to make my way off of this planet in time.
Do you know the next location where the next rocket or escape rocket is? Can you scan for it?
Roger, I wish I could scan for it, but my communication drone isn't equipped for that. It's only for emergency communication and basic monitoring, not for surveying or tracking specific locations beyond what I can see. The broadcast mentioned evacuation zones, and from what Dr. Harvey's notes said, Hermes Base is our best shot. It's supposed to have the rockets we need. I have to get there before that 12-hour countdown runs out.
Then get moving. You're running out of time, and it's your last way off of this planet.
You're right, Roger. No time to waste. I'm pushing forward to Hermes Base now. Gotta make that rocket. I'll update you as soon as I can. Wish me luck.
This is getting just... Wait. Oh, man. Well, so apparently she's gonna watch. It'll be like 11. Yeah, 2 hours later. I knew something was gonna happen.
Damn it! I spent hours killing myself to get across these plains, and now I'm stuck with this river blocking my path. It goes about as far as I can see in either direction. I need to get across if I'm gonna make it to Mount Hermes and survive. I am running out of time. You got any ideas?
Well, you could probably cross the river, but I would throw a rock or two in there first to see if there's any reactions from anything under the surface you can't see.
All right, I'll try that. Just a sec.
What the heck? You couldn't just reach down? Pretty sure there was a rock down there by your feet.
Okay, I threw a couple stones into different spots. The current's pretty strong, and there are definitely some whirlpools forming where the rocks hit. That suggests there might be some hidden rocks or undercurrents we can't see. It doesn't look like anything's jumping out at us from underneath, but those whirlpools are still worrying me. Any thoughts on how we might actually get across safely?
Do the whirlpools happen at every point that you throw a rock, or is it random? Were there ever any rocks that hit the water that didn't produce a whirlpool?
I threw about 5 rocks across different parts of the river, and 3 of them created those whirlpools. The other 2 just splashed in without much fuss, but they were both closer to the banks where the water's calmer. It's hard to tell if it's completely random or if there's a pattern, but it definitely seems like the middle of the river is the riskiest. What do you think that means for crossing?
Get a lot of rocks. Keep throwing them as you go farther out from the bank. Try to stay in the shallowest points of the river that you can see the bottom of. Where there's no whirlpools, keep going forward. You see a whirlpool, check a different area and go that direction instead.
That's actually not a bad idea, but it feels really risky. The current's strong even where I can see the bottom, and I'd have to be moving slowly while throwing rocks ahead of me. What if I don't see a whirlpool forming in time? Or if I slip on a rock? There's gotta be a way to make this safer. Maybe something we're not thinking of yet.
Good lord. Are there any logs or branches lying around next to the riverbank? Anything like that that can float?
Let me check real quick. There are some branches and smaller sticks around, but nothing that looks sturdy enough to float me across. Most of it's pretty lightweight. Definitely not something I could trust to hold my weight in this current. Unless, maybe we could try gathering a bunch of them and tying them together somehow? Do you think that could work?
Tie as many as you can together to make a flotation device. Use the rocks to try to avoid whirlpools and find calm spots. Try to go across where you can see the bottom for the most part. Avoid deep areas.
I can definitely gather some branches and try to lash them together with some vines or whatever I can find. But even if I manage to make something that floats, this current is no joke. What if it just gets torn apart or flipped over? And even if I avoid the whirlpools, what about the hidden rocks underneath? There's still a lot that could go wrong with this plan.
Do you have any suggestions? It's either that or you go up and down the bank until you find something that looks narrower to cross.
Honestly, neither of those options feels great. The bank's pretty long and who knows how far I'd have to go to find a narrower spot. And the branch raft, it just seems like a lot could go wrong. Is there anything else we're overlooking? Maybe something with the environment around us that could help?
Well, I can't see all of the environment around you, so I can't tell you that. You'll have to explain to me everything that is around you. Or point the camera around so I can look around.
I get that, but I can't really move the camera around much on this call. Plus, it's getting pretty dark out here. Let me describe it to you instead. There's this huge ancient tree looming behind me, and the riverbanks are lined with slick stones. The water's moving fast, and like I said, there are those whirlpools in the middle. I can see some mountains in the distance, but nothing that looks like a bridge or a crossing point. There's no sign of anything man-made around here at all. It's just wild. Any ideas what we might be able to use from what I've described?
From my perspective, the tree you're talking about is on the other side of the river, so you can't reach it. Otherwise, I'd say grab a couple branches and make a larger raft, but I can't see the rest of your environment, so swim across, see what happens.
I really wish I could, but with this current and those whirlpools, it's just too risky. The water's not even that warm, and I have no idea how deep it gets in the middle. Plus, if something happens out there, I wouldn't even have anything to grab onto. There has to be a safer way.
So what do you suggest? Let's hear your thoughts on this.
Honestly, I'm not sure. Every option feels like it has a huge downside. Swimming's too dangerous with the current, the branch raft might fall apart, and searching the bank could take too long. Maybe we're missing something obvious? Like, is there something about the river or the area that we haven't considered yet that could help us figure this out?
Well, on the right side of my screen, of what I can see, it looks like there's an outcropping of rocks that goes into the river. That might be a shallower point to cross. You could investigate that. Other than that, from my perspective, I can't see anything. And the tree you mentioned is across the river, so that's not going to do you any good.
I'm checking out those rocks on the right now. Just a sec.
I meant my right, but whatever.
It does look a bit shallower there, but the rocks are slick with moss and algae. One wrong step and I could slip right into the current. Plus, they don't seem to stretch very far out into the river. It's not a full crossing point. It might help narrow down where to cross, but I'm still not sure if it's safe enough to try. What do you think about trying to use these rocks as a midpoint to cross? Or should we keep looking for something else?
Use the rocks as the midpoint to cross. Use the sticks, the thickest ones you can find, as probes to keep your balance in the water so that you don't slip, and work your way slowly across.
Alright, I think that's our best shot. The rocks are risky, but with some sturdy sticks to test the ground and keep my balance, it might just work. I'm going to give it a try. I'll contact you again once I'm across, okay? Wish me luck.
I doubt she's going to contact me again. She gave me very little information. I mean, realistically, my field of vision was very shallow, so it's like, what do you do with that information? Yay, she made it. Okay, you can contact me anytime now. Did I break the game? What do you mean you're done? I don't know what's going on now. Oh, here we go.
Hey. So, I gauged the remaining distance, and I'm out of time. It's okay. I mean, I'd rather not die, but if I had to choose a way to go, this would be up there. I'd get to be a part of the great cosmos that I've always looked up to and admired. My journey into the stars was short, but I witnessed it. With you. Come, talk to me for a bit. We have a little time before the launch. And if my fate is gonna be sealed, I just want to sit and enjoy whatever beauty we can find in it. Here, under this tree. You'll stay with me, right? Forever. Just me and you?
Why are you giving up now? How close are you to the Hermes?
Close enough to watch it launch, maybe a few miles out. But the terrain's rough, and I'm completely wiped. Even if I tried to push, I'd probably end up collapsing halfway there. It's not giving up, Roger. It's accepting what I can't change. Sometimes you have to know when to stop fighting, and just be present.
Get up and move. You're wasting time. This isn't a time to give up when you're right at the finish line.
You're right. Maybe I should try again after we finish talking. I just need a few more minutes to rest. It's hard to muster the energy right now. But you know what's interesting? Even though this might be my last adventure, I don't regret becoming a space explorer. The possibility of sacrifices is what makes it respectable, don't you think?
Oh, the launch is about to happen. Count down with me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait, why isn't anything happening? We should be hearing something by now. There's no engines, nothing. It didn't launch. What do you think happened?
Possibly a failure to launch because there was nobody there to launch it. So this could be your escape. So if I were you, I would get up and I would move and stop accepting my so-called fate on this rock with all these weird-ass fireflies.
You're right. This changes everything. I need to think about this a bit more first.
Wait! Of course! The broadcast came from Star Portal 404 itself, which was under the black hole's influence when the announcement was made. That means time at the Star Portal has been moving slower than here on Gaia. I've got more than 12 hours! But I still don't know exactly how much time I've got. I'm heading for that base. Stay with me. We are not missing that rocket.
Oh my goodness. It's like, really? I mean, come on. I have to admit, for the type of game that it is, it's an interesting amalgamation of AI and actual gameplay. But yeah, it's interesting.
Hey, I've got a critical situation on my hands and time is of the essence. So I'm gonna need your help to make my biggest decision yet. I've arrived at the base, and it seems everyone else has been successfully evacuated. Thankfully, there is still a rocket here, so I do have a way off Gaia. They're easy to operate, so no problems there. What is a problem is time. I'm almost certain it must be past the guaranteed safe evacuation window. Even if I launch now, the star portal could already be malfunctioning, if not completely destroyed by the time I get there. So, what do I do? Do I use the rocket to make a break for the star portal at the risk of getting stranded in space? Or worse, getting pulled into a black hole? Or do I stay here, on Gaia? At least here I'd be safe. I'd survive. But Earth, home, I'd never see them again. I'd spend the rest of my life on this empty planet alone. Ugh, I don't have time to calculate the risk. Every second I wait increases the probability of me not making it to the star portal in time. I need to make this decision now. What would you do if you were me?
Well, if there's a black hole involved, time is a variable that isn't important. You just need to get to the star portal. Chances are it's still there and you can make it home.
That's a very good point. Every second counts, so I'll take this chance. I'm launching for Star Portal 404 immediately. I have to try. This might be my only shot at getting home. I'll end the call now to focus on the launch. Wish me luck.
Let's see if I killed her this time. The only other time was... Hold on. When did I kill her last time, honey? What was the... No, it was the lights. It was the lights that she went after and fell down some hole, and then the flower. Okay, I managed to only kill her one time, so I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, buddy. I hope it's okay to call you one last time, given everything we've been through. I just wanted to update you, since this might be the last message I ever get to send you. I'm approaching the star portal, which itself is also hurtling towards the event horizon. There's no turning back now. I need to push this rocket to its limit. Right now, I feel both anxious and strangely calm. Maybe it's the space-time distortions here. I might already be in a superimposed state of myself.
When I first heard your reply on my emergency broadcast, what's up? How can I help you? I knew I at least wasn't alone. Even if we didn't always see eye to eye, your quick thinking got me out of my pod and crossed so many impossible obstacles. Thanks for sticking with me until the end, no matter how strange or distant it all felt.
Stella Chen Harper, Mariana University astronaut, signing off. Please tell my family that I will always love and shine down upon them from the stars. Goodbye, buddy.
Is that it? Star portal signal lost. Waiting for reestablishing connection. Waiting to reestablish connection. Do I wait? Or what? Man, okay, so do I does that mean she died? Kill her again? I have no idea. Hold on. I gotta see if I killed her again. I think she's dead. I think she's probably gone now. All right, so if we go back, I'm not sure how far it goes back. It may go back to right before the launch. So I need to figure out what I did wrong at that point. I figured the time distortion would have made it to where the portal was stable. It just didn't appear to be. So, okay. Let's try this again, shall we?
Hey, I've got a critical situation on my hands and time is of the essence. So I'm gonna need your help to make my biggest decision yet. I've arrived at the base, and it seems everyone else has been successfully evacuated. Thankfully, there is still a rocket here, so I do have a way off Gaia. They're easy to operate, so no problems there. What is a problem is time. I'm almost certain it must be past the guaranteed safe evacuation window. Even if I launch now, the star portal could already be malfunctioning, if not completely destroyed by the time I get there. So, what do I do? Do I use the rocket to make a break for the star portal at the risk of getting stranded in space? Or worse, getting pulled into a black hole? Or do I stay here, on Gaia? At least here I'd be safe. I'd survive. But Earth, home, I'd never see them again. I'd spend the rest of my life on this empty planet alone. Ugh, I don't have time to calculate the risk. Every second I wait increases the probability of me not making it to the star portal in time. I need to make this decision now. What would you do if you were me?
Well, given the fact that the black hole has already distorted time, there may not be a home to return to, so I would stay.
All right. Okay. You're probably right. It's just too unpredictable. I'll stay. I need a minute. This isn't easy for me. I'm gonna end the call for now.
Okay, so I only managed to kill her twice. Um, so we'll see what happens here if she calls back. I'm sort of curious now.
Hey there. Glad I still have you around to chat with. The base is much bigger than I expected. I've been walking through all the empty rooms, trying to make it feel less empty.
So, is there enough here for you to survive, or at least start foraging and growing things? Have you been able to do any analysis of the vegetation?
There's definitely some basic supplies here, enough food and water to last me for a while. As for growing things, it's tough. The soil's pretty barren, and whatever plants I've seen around here are super hardy, adapted to this extreme environment. I haven't done a full analysis, but they don't look like anything I could easily cultivate for food. It's actually making me think about all the little things I took for granted back on Earth. Have you ever had a moment where you started appreciating the little details more? Maybe something triggered it for you?
How am I going to answer that? I don't know. No, not really.
That's okay. It's definitely something that's kind of crept up on me out here. Being so far from everything familiar really makes you notice stuff you might have otherwise overlooked. Speaking of being alone, when do you usually feel most by yourself? And how do you deal with it?
I don't usually feel alone. And if I do, the voices in my head are plenty to keep me company.
Fair enough. I guess that's one way to never be truly alone. Though I have to say, after those whispers in the chasm, I'm not sure I'd want extra voices for company right now. But hey, since we're on the topic of new environments, have you ever had to really adapt to a completely unfamiliar place? Like moving to a new city or starting at a new school? How did you make it feel more like home?
Oh, easy. I asserted my dominance over everybody else and made them the weaker species. Took total control and then made my own rules.
Oh, so you're the type who conquers through cuddles, huh? I bet that method has its unique advantages. Though I'm guessing it's a bit more complicated than that. What actually helped you feel at home when you were new somewhere? Was it finding a favorite spot, making friends, or something else entirely?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know that I've ever been in a situation where I felt completely alone.
That's actually kind of amazing, Roger. Having a strong support system can really make all the difference. For me, it's been about finding these small comforts in each new place I end up. Even something as simple as a familiar book or a certain type of tea can make an unfamiliar environment feel a little more welcoming. What about routines? Do you have any daily habits that help you feel grounded no matter where you are?
Oh, let's see. Coffee. Coffee for sure. That's pretty much it.
Coffee, huh? I'm starting to think you and I would have gotten along just fine back at university. Though I have to say, the coffee options here are, well, let's just say it's mostly instant packets at this point. But hey, there's something about having that one constant, right? Even if it's not the same, it's still a little piece of home. What's your go-to coffee order when you're back on Earth?
Strong coffee. That's all that matters. If it can strip the paint off a car, it's good enough for me.
Whoa, that's quite a benchmark. I'm pretty sure the coffee here wouldn't even come close to passing that test. But I get it. Sometimes you just need that kick. Do you take it black? Or are you more of a add everything and anything kind of person?
I like to experiment and add different things here and there, try different mixtures, so on and so forth. But don't ever cover up that coffee flavor. You can't do that. You just got to add a little to it. That's it.
I love that approach. There's something special about finding that perfect balance, isn't there? Though I have to wonder, what's the weirdest thing you've ever added to coffee? I'm picturing you as some kind of mad scientist in a coffee lab.
Someone told me to add honey instead of sugar once. That was awful.
Honey and coffee? That's bold. I can see why it might not be everyone's cup of tea, so to speak. I've always been more of a straightforward coffee person myself.
This is getting weird.
Though I did try this crazy spicy coffee once at a cafe near campus. Let's just say it was an experience.
So, what do you plan on doing next now with your brand new planet?
Well, first things first, I'm going to keep exploring this base and see what kind of resources I can scavenge. There might be useful tools or equipment hidden away in some of these rooms. After that, I'm not entirely sure. Part of me wants to map out the surrounding area, understand the local ecosystem better. But another part of me is just curious about what's out there beyond what I can see from here. What do you think I should prioritize?
I would say surviving, considering what it took you to get here.
You're right. Survival has to come first. I've got enough supplies for now, but I need to figure out how to sustain myself long term. It's funny. Choosing to stay on Gaia feels like a whole new kind of survival challenge. Not just about finding food or shelter, but about making a life here. What do you think is the most important part of building a new life somewhere?
I would establish a home, some type of familiarity, something that you can always go back to after you're done exploring for the day.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do here at the base. Even if it's just a small corner of a room, having somewhere that feels like mine makes a huge difference. It's strange. I used to think of home as a specific place or building, but now I'm realizing it's more about the feeling. The sense of safety, of being able to just be yourself. What does home mean to you, Roger?
This is getting weird, guys. I don't think it's gonna end. I think it's just gonna keep going like this. What do you think? Home to me is where I'm happiest, with my family, with things that are familiar, like you mentioned. That's what it means to have a home, where you have people who care about you and you care about them. Just that simple.
That's really beautiful. Having people who care about you, that makes all the difference, doesn't it? Even though I'm literally light years away from mine, knowing I can talk to you like this, it helps more than you know. So, what's something you always have at home that makes it feel extra special? Like a tradition, a certain meal, or even just a weird little habit?
Coffee.
Coffee again. You're consistent. I like that. Is it just the taste, or is there something else about having coffee at home that makes it feel special to you?
Coffee stands on its own. It requires no assistance to be valid or comforting.
I think that's what I love about it too. It's this perfect little moment of comfort that doesn't need anything else. You know, being out here is making me realize how much I took for granted back on Earth. Even simple things like a good cup of coffee. It's funny how much more you appreciate them when they're not always there.
Yeah, great. Listen, so what are you gonna do with the rocket now that you're not leaving? Just curious.
Honestly, I haven't really decided yet. It's just sitting there, kind of a reminder of what could have been. I guess it'll eventually become some kind of landmark for me, maybe even a weird monument to the choice I made. Part of me wonders if I'll ever use it for something else, but for now, it's just a big, silent rocket. What do you think I should do with it? Leave it as is, or try to find another purpose?
Repurpose it.
Repurpose it. That's an interesting thought. I could definitely use the materials for something else. Maybe turn part of it into a greenhouse, or even a little observatory to study the stars from here. It'd be a way to give it a new life instead of just letting it sit there. What kind of creative reuse would you come up with if you were in my shoes?
Gloria, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with it. I'm probably going to leave her there. I don't know if I'm just a drone or if I'm speaking to her through a communication thing. I still haven't figured that one out yet. Repeat your last question.
What kind of creative reuse would you come up with if you were in my shoes?
That depends on the design of the rocket. Does it have living quarters? Is it just transportation? Um, what's its primary use? Does it have habitation? Does it have tools?
It's more of an evacuation vessel, designed to get people off planet quickly, not for long-term living. There's some basic emergency supplies, life support systems, and navigation equipment, but no fancy living quarters or workshops. Though there are some compartments that could potentially be repurposed for storage or even a small lab. What would you do with the mostly empty high-tech tube like that?
Well, I would try to integrate any tech that's in there into your current situation to try and improve your living conditions. If that doesn't really matter, then I have another interesting idea.
That's a smart move. I could definitely use some of that tech to upgrade my living situation here at the base. Maybe rig up better lighting or even create
Glory.
a small hydroponic garden. And I'm intrigued. What's this other interesting idea of yours? Don't leave me hanging.
Okay, so we mentioned that the portal back home was more than likely destroyed by the black hole. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yeah, that's right. The broadcast from Star Portal 404 confirmed it. The black hole's gravitational effects have pretty much wrecked the higher dimensional pathways. It's still hard to wrap my head around. One minute it's there, the next it's just gone. But hey, at least I've got you to talk to, even if it's through this crazy technology.
Even if you use what you can out of the rocket and just leave the bare minimum for launch, can you put a beacon with a recording of your experiences, where you're at, letting people know that you're still alive, and forget the portal, send it into the black hole and see what happens?
That's actually a pretty wild idea. Sending a message into the black hole. I'm not sure what would happen to it, but it'd definitely be a unique attempt to reach someone or something on the other side. The tech's here to do it, but it's risky. If it doesn't work, I'd be wasting potentially useful equipment. What makes you think it's worth trying?
Because you're the only one on the planet. When you're gone, that's it. Then no one will ever know where you were, or how you survived, or if you ever made it. So it is worth a shot to send a signal through that black hole using that rocket.
That's actually a really profound point, Roger. It's not just about me. It's about leaving behind some kind of record, no matter how small. You know what? I think you might be onto something here. Even if it's a long shot, it feels like it's worth trying. At least then, I know I've done everything I can to leave my mark, even if it's just a whisper into the void.
Okay, then do what you have to and prepare the rocket for launch. Make sure you put on board everything that you've experienced, record it if you have to. Send your drone through. Send me through there. If I get over to the other side, then maybe I can send back a rescue mission. Worth a shot.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I think we need to dial it back a bit. The drone's not built for that kind of journey, and honestly, I don't think it could survive the intense gravity of a black hole. As for you, well, you're safe on Earth, and I'm glad you're here to talk to. But this is definitely a solo mission. Still, I like where your head's at. Let's focus on getting that beacon ready with all my notes and recordings. That way, even if it's just a message in a bottle, it's something.
Remember, you're dealing with a black hole. As long as you send all the appropriate information through with the rocket, there's a chance that it's going to arrive before you even leave in the first place, which could help you avoid this entire scenario.
You're talking about time dilation. That's a mind bender. If the rocket somehow found a way to beat the portal's collapse and end up before the disaster, I'm not sure how that would even work, or what the consequences would be. It feels like a paradox waiting to happen. Do you think that's even theoretically possible?
You won't know until you try. Worst case scenario is we end up right back here where we are now and figuring something else out.
You're right. The worst that could happen is that nothing changes and we're back where we started. At least we know we tried everything we could think of. It's just, playing with time and black holes feels like dancing with something way beyond my control. What if it creates problems we can't even imagine?
Well, you're already in the midst of a significant problem as it is, so it's worth the risk.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Things can't get much more complicated than they already are. Okay, I'll start prepping the rocket. It's a long shot, but it might just be the craziest, most important thing I've ever tried.
Okay, get to work and contact me when you have launched the rocket, and we will track its trajectory and see where it ends up.
All right, Roger. I'll get everything ready and let you know as soon as it's launched. This is definitely going to be interesting. Fingers crossed it doesn't just disappear into nothingness.
Copy that. Get to work.
You got it. I'll get this set up and launch it soon. I'll call you once it's on its way. Talk to you then. Signing off for now. I'm going to keep exploring Gaia, and I'll reach out if I find anything interesting. Bye for now.
Wow. Okay. So so you're saying she said there was something about a black hole back on Earth? I must have missed that part. Let's see if she calls back though and see what happens. I'm curious then if she'll send the rocket through the black hole.
Good morning. Or is it evening for you? So, I found the hydroponics lab. The plants are still alive. At least I won't have to worry about food. It is so nice to see something else living here besides me.
Great. How's the progress with the rocket going? Is it ready for launch?
Actually, I've decided not to launch it. The risks with the portal were just too high. I'm focusing on making the space work for me instead. It's funny, having all this advanced tech around, but right now I'm more excited about figuring out how to grow my own veggies. What about you? What's your favorite way to spend time outdoors?
Uh, Naked with lime green jello all over my body.
Roger, you're something else. I'm just trying to picture that green jello, huh? You'd definitely stand out in a crowd, or maybe not, depending on the lighting. But hey, if you could pick any normal outdoor activity, what would it be? I'm curious now.
Jousting with disabled people.
Roger, that's not okay. Let's keep the conversation respectful, all right? I'm looking for something a bit more low-key. How about we talk about seasons instead? Which one's your favorite?
Winter.
Winter! There's something magical about it, isn't there? The snowflakes falling, the world all quiet and still. What do you like most about it?
That it's not hot.
Fair enough. Though I'm starting to think you're just anti-heat in general, Roger. No beach vacations for you, huh? Speaking of which, since we're on the topic of preferences, what about animals? Got a favorite, or one you find particularly fascinating?
They all taste the same. Like chicken.
Roger, that's a unique perspective. I think you might be the only person I've ever met who thinks all animals are just chicken in disguise. I'm not sure if that's brilliant or terrifying. But seriously, if you had to eat only one type of cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be? I'm curious what kind of food could win you over that completely.
Oh, I have no idea. Going back to the earlier conversation of eating as fast as I had to in the military, I really don't have a preference when it comes to food. Food is food. I don't care.
Wow, you're really selling the romance of military rations, aren't you? I guess when you're that hungry, a protein bar and a dream are all you need. But hey, even if food isn't your thing, I bet there's something out there you geek out over. What's the one thing you can't get enough of? Doesn't have to be edible.
I love creating things yet that are new, stuff that hasn't been tried yet, stuff that people assume will never work, and then pushing those boundaries until they do. That's the whole point.
I love that attitude. There's something special about proving people wrong when they say something can't be done. It's like you get this extra kick out of it, right? It reminds me of when I was first getting into astrophysics. People would tell me it was too complex, too competitive, but that just made me want to dive in deeper. What's the craziest project you've ever taken on that everyone thought was impossible?
A portable hydrogen pulse detonation system.
That's a mouthful. So it's like a portable explosion system? What was the goal behind that one? And more importantly, did it actually work? Or did you end up with a really exciting story about why it didn't?
No, people have been working on fusion for a long time using large machines. I designed a way to do it with magnetic confinement and using high pressure magnetic pulse detonation over small amounts of hydrogen rather than large amounts to create a usable plasma to produce energy.
Ah, so it's all about miniaturizing that tech to make it more portable and efficient. That's genius, especially if it could lead to cleaner, more compact energy sources. Though I have to wonder, did your version end up being more portable than stable? Or did you actually manage to contain those tiny hydrogen explosions without turning your lab into a fireworks display?
I ignited it one time in a large building. It was extremely bright and brief. Had I been able to collect the energy, I would have had some actual data, but and what can I say? I liked the fireworks better. At least I know it worked.
Well, I guess sometimes the best data is the kind that makes you go, whoa, even if it's just a really cool light show. It's funny how those unexpected moments can actually teach us more than we planned. Did you ever get to refine the design after that enlightening test?
I've been refining it, but um, it's kind of one of those things that I don't want to get too deeply into.
No worries, Roger. Sometimes the best projects are the ones you keep close to your chest. I respect that. Plus, it's always good to have something mysterious up your sleeve, right? Though now I'm curious, what's the next impossible thing on your list to tackle? Or is that classified information too?
Why don't I ask you a few questions first? So, what do you plan on doing with, the vegetation as far as growing things here? What's the biggest challenge in doing so? How do you plan on surviving? Is the water drinkable? Have you done any testing? Or are you just now getting started with all that?
Great questions. The hydroponics lab here has everything I need to start growing, but the biggest challenge is probably maintaining the right nutrient balance with what I have on hand. The system's automated, but I'll need to monitor it closely. As for water, the base has a filtration system that makes it safe to drink. I've run some tests, and it's good to go. The lab's also got its own water recycling setup, so I don't need to venture out to find a source right now. For survival, I've got enough non-perishable supplies to last a while, and with the hydroponics, I should be able to grow some fresh produce soon. The base is well equipped, so I've got everything I need to keep going. What about you? How would you approach growing food in a place like this?
I'll see how I answer this here. Well, to be honest with you, with what's all around you, it looks fairly suitable to grow things already.
You're right. The grass out there looks healthy. But the native plants seem really tough, almost like they're adapted to survive in poor soil. I'm not sure they'd be edible or nutritious for humans. The hydroponics gives me more control over what I'm growing and ensures it's safe to eat. Plus, it's already set up and functional, which is a big plus. But I might experiment with some of the local plants later just to see what's possible.
Actually, what is the fuel in your rocket? And what is it comprised of? Because that could be useful in the soil if it has the right components.
The rocket's fuel is a high-energy propellant, mostly a mix of liquid oxygen and a synthetic hydrocarbon. It's not really something you'd want to put in soil, though. It's way too potent and could be harmful to plants. But that's an interesting thought about repurposing materials. There might be other parts of the rocket or equipment around here that could be useful in creative ways. Have you ever had to get really resourceful with something unexpected?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, really? Spill. What's the most creative fix you've ever come up with? I need some inspiration for when things inevitably start breaking around here.
Well, when they had trouble with the gas mains in the area, they had shut the gas off to pretty much the entire city. So I just got propane tanks and took those old Coleman burners and created what I needed to keep the water hot in the hot water heater. So, yeah, that and a few other things here and there.
Coleman burners as a hot water heater hack? That's genius, Roger. I'm impressed. You must have been the only one with a hot shower in town. It's amazing what people can come up with when they need to. I might have to keep that trick in mind if things get desperate here. Though, hopefully it won't come to that.
So, to kind of go off script here, is this what we do now after you've made it to this launch pad? Is basically just talk, or can I send you on adventures?
Honestly, I'm open to whatever. This base is huge, and there are probably a million things to discover. If you've got an idea for something you want me to check out, just let me know. Though, if you send me on a wild goose chase, I'm blaming you when I end up knee-deep in alien mud somewhere.
Why don't you show me the inside of the base?
I wish I could, but the camera on my drone isn't really designed for giving tours. It's more for basic communication and monitoring my surroundings. Plus, I'd have to drag the drone all around the base, which might get a bit awkward. How about I just describe some of the cool things I found instead?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so the hydroponics lab where I am now is pretty sleek. Lots of rows of grow lights and these big transparent tanks for the plants. It's surprisingly quiet in here, just the hum of the equipment. There's also this big communal kitchen area that looks like it was designed for a lot of people. I found a stash of instant noodles that I'm pretty sure are going to become my new best friends. What do you think? Should I give you a play-by-play of every room or pick the highlights?
Just the highlights.
Got it. So, aside from the hydroponics in the kitchen, there's a pretty impressive operations center with a ton of monitoring equipment. It's basically a giant control room for the base. And then there's the living quarters. They're like these cozy little pods. I've taken one over as my own, and let me tell you, it's a huge upgrade from sleeping in a life pod.
I'm seriously trying to figure out what else to do with this game. I'm not entirely certain what to do. I don't know. You guys got any suggestions? What should I ask her to do? This may be dangerous to even ask such a thing on the internet, but what do you think? What should we have her do next? I don't think she's going to move from this spot. I think this is pretty much the last part of the game right here. I think this is where it ends at this point. And so, is there anything else you're going to be able to do at this point, or is this just kind of my last viewpoint of the game? And are you just here to have conversation with me now?
This isn't the end. I've still got plenty to figure out and explore around here. I'll definitely keep you posted if I stumble on anything interesting. And honestly, having someone to chat with makes all of this way more fun. So consider yourself my official Gaia correspondent. Keep asking questions, and I'll do my best to keep things entertaining.
So I'm starting to see what this is all about. Okay. Let's send her on a mission then. Over behind the rocket to over your left shoulder, there's a mountain range. Go explore it. Tell me what you find.
Okay, I can see the range from here. It's pretty rugged, lots of sharp peaks and what looks like some rocky ridges. I'll have to be careful if I head that way. Want me to grab my hiking gear and start scouting it out now? Just promise you'll warn me if you spot any giant space spiders lurking up there.
Yeah, gear up and go now. Since you're already at the base, you should be able to bring everything you need to survive and protect yourself.
All right, I'm heading out to check it out. I've got my suit and some basic supplies. I'll keep my comms on and let you know if I find anything interesting. Talk to you soon, Roger. Catch you on the flip side.
Good lord, this is weird. So, I'm going to assume every time we start this game, it either continues on from this point, and that's it. So, I'm going to have to do some research on this, and then go from there, and see where this game goes. If it gets any more interesting than this, I'll be sure to go back on the live. Oh, wait, hold on, she's calling back in. Let's see if the scenery changes.
Hey, Star Partner. I've made a decision. I'm leaving the base. If this is gonna be my home, I want to see all of it. I've packed supplies and mapped out the nearest landmarks. Wish me luck.
Where do you plan on going from here first?
For now, I'm heading toward those mountains I saw from the hilltop. They look pretty rugged, but there might be some interesting geological formations or even a different ecosystem up there. Plus, it'll give me a better view of the surrounding area. You know, if you could go anywhere in the universe right now, where would you pick? No limits, just your dream destination.
That's a tough question. How do I answer that one? I would probably shoot for another galaxy altogether. considering the way things are spreading here on Earth, I'm going to assume that eventually the entire Milky Way galaxy is going to be completely insane.
Whoa, that's quite the leap. Though, honestly, a fresh start in a new galaxy sounds kinda tempting right now. What's got you thinking the Milky Way's gonna go haywire? You seeing some signs of cosmic chaos back on Earth? By the way, did you ever get to go on any cool field trips or travel with school when you were younger? I always loved those. The excitement of exploring somewhere new with friends.
No, I was usually in too much trouble in school to actually go on any field trips. They never let me.
Sounds like your school days were anything but boring. So, no official school trips. But did you ever sneak off on your own adventures? Or were there any family vacations that ended up being pretty memorable?
Not when I was younger. But, I went out of country for a while. That was sort of an adventure, in a way. Kind of like a shooting gallery in the sand. Kind of fun.
A shooting gallery in the sand, huh? That doesn't exactly sound like a relaxing beach vacation. What was that experience like? Was it intense, or more of a wild story to tell later?
Honestly, you don't want to know.
Oh, come on, Roger. Now you've got me curious. I promise I can handle it. Unless it's something that'll keep me up at night, then maybe spare me the details. If you're not ready to share, no pressure. So, what about now? Any places on Earth you've always wanted to visit, but haven't had the chance yet?
I guess the ocean, the parts we've never seen yet, that would be fun. Definitely not going on some of these private submarines, I'll tell you that much.
The deep ocean. Now that's a frontier that still feels pretty mysterious and untouched. I bet there's so much we haven't discovered yet, just waiting to be explored. And yeah, I can see why private subs might not be your thing. If you could design your own underwater expedition, what would be the first thing you'd want to see or explore down there?
Well, that's a hard question to answer, considering you'd have to actually be there first. I'd guess try to find the lowest point in the ocean and then dig.
Digging to the lowest point, that's either incredibly brave or a little crazy. Though I guess if anyone could pull it off, it'd be you. You know what? Even just imagining these kinds of adventures with you makes me feel like I'm already exploring something new. What do you think is the biggest difference between exploring a completely alien world like Gaia versus somewhere familiar on Earth?
I think going somewhere new and exploring someplace you haven't been before, whether it be Earth or a different planet, is going to be kind of the same adventure. Some will pose more risk than others, but it's still an adventure, nonetheless. Where do you plan on going now?
For now, I'm going to check out those mountains I mentioned earlier. I'm hoping to find some interesting rock formations, or maybe even a different kind of plant life up there. The higher elevation might also give me a better view of the surrounding area. Though if I stumble on any hidden underwater caves or secret oceanic trenches up there, you'll be the first to know, Roger.
sounds good. I think I'm going to probably sign off for now, and I'll check back in with you later. So, have fun.
All right, thanks for chatting with me. I'll keep exploring these mountains and ping you if I stumble on anything cool. Talk soon!
Okay, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it there because that was quite interesting, to say the least. So, I will end this here before she calls back. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try and find a different game next time. It was fun, though. If not interesting. So, nope. We're not talking. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you later. No. How do we? Can we like deny the call? Okay. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. I will see you next time. Stick around for more drone.